Hello, this is Mike Lively, and today we're going to show you how to build a Jiglib soccer field. And we're going to do a little bit of hacking. So I just finished a series about 7 videos on hacking PB3D. All those techniques that we used and learned we're actually going to use to build this soccer field. And then we can go on and build the game later on. It's pretty much a continuation of Chapter 2 of the book, just showing you how to hack and work with, because the book I wrote on PB3D, you can get it on Amazon if you want. It's about hacking more than anything, and how to get in there and change things and build things. What happens to a lot of people, they come to this wall when they start working with programs like Paper Vision or Jiglib, and it's just a little bit of work. You can actually make it stand on its end if you know how to go in there and change it and hack it the way you need to. So what we're going to do in this series today is we're going to download Jiglib, show you where to get that, prepare your PB3D project, and we're going to of course do that in Flash Builder. We're going to go to a nice page here. This is Miguel Moraledo, and I've actually been following his blog for a little while, and it's really good. I should say more than just a little while. And we're going to hack Jiglib. We're going to show you what can just go in and just one simple hack to really, get that field in there working right. And then we'll add our field. So that's what we're going to do today. And let's get to it. First thing you want to do is go ahead and download Jiglib, and here's the site for it. Nice little blog here, and you want to get on there and read all about it and follow examples. Jiglib is multi-platform. It will work with a number of different 3D packages, such as Away 3D and Paper Vision and others as well. So what you want to do here is just go to, fire up your SVN and go ahead and download this code from the web. And one of the disadvantages in hacking code is once you've hacked it, that's your hacked version. So you got to be careful not trying to run your same code in the hacked version, because that'll get messed up. Or if you mess up a version, sometimes it can follow you and you can accidentally put it into other projects. So be careful when you hack, of course. And so let's take a look at the blog I want you to go to. Once again, this is a wonderful blog. I really suggest that you go ahead and view this blog. Put it on your blog reader list and just follow it, because he does lots of good work in many different areas, so it's not just one specific area. And if you go ahead and scroll down at the bottom of this blog, he does go through a little section on Jiglib and how to install it and base code. Let me go see if I can find the project here. Here it is. Here's the code right here, and he goes through his base code. And we're going to actually just copy and paste this right into our package and use this code. No reason not to. Hey, don't reinvent the wheel. If someone's already done it, go ahead and grab it. And then if you need to change it, learn to hack it. And that's what I want to try to teach you in these series. So I'm just going to come along here and copy and paste it. So I'm going to copy it. And this is called a main, so we'll just call it main 2. And let's go ahead and just create a ActionScript project. So we're going to go to Flash Builder right now and do that. So I have Flash Builder up right now, and this is just wonderful software. I actually just love Flash Builder. Let's just right-click on the screen, hit New, and go Flex ActionScript Project. Now we're going to come along here later and create a Flash Builder project, but just for this, we'll call this Jiglib Soccer Field, and hit Finish. And you've created a project, and of course this is not the project we're going to use. We actually have this code that we've created, so we'll go ahead and just paste this code right here and kind of hack away a little bit. Just paste, and that's the code that I pulled from Miguel's blog, and we're going to come along here and just change it a little bit. I see that I have the name Jiglib Soccer Field, so I like all these import statements, so let's just copy those. And all I have to do is actually not copy them, just highlight them, hit the Alt key, and page them up where they need to go. Very good. He extends basic view, which is what you want to do, so let's just copy that. And we'll just keep the name Soccer Field that I gave it. There we go. And paste that. So we've replaced that with that. And then you have this, everything else is just fine. So we can come along here and just get rid of all these lines right here. Okay, that's my class. We're making progress, and this right here needs to go up 1. So let's go ahead and page this up with my Alt and page up. So working with getting the basic of the code in the same framework. And then I don't need this main statement anymore. So I'm good. And that's all I had to do to, in a sense, get his code in mind. Now, if I just given it the name main, I would have had to do all that. But, I like my unique name. So there we have it. And his code's there. Also, there was a function in his code for actually creating ground. We're going to go ahead and copy and paste that in as well. So I'm going to add one more function down here. And that's for the ground. And I'll go ahead and comment it. Let's say ground, because this is where I'm going to do some of my work right here. And let's put the field code in there. I'm going to go back to his blog and just copy it and paste it. And he's got a little blog here how to create ground and stuff. And I cover this in the book as well, but we'll get to all that later in the book and do a lot more Jiglib. But I just want to show you how to maneuver around and get all this stuff done quickly. So I'll paste it as well. Boom. There we go. So we got some code in there, and we can save it, and you should get a bunch of errors. Why? Because you don't have any classes in there. You got to drag all the classes that you need, the Jiglib classes, the paper vision classes. So let's go ahead and do that. I have that in my documents folder, and let's open up my document folder and get the classes that we need. I work with Away 3D as well, so we're going to open up the Away 3D PV3D, and here's my PV3D. And you want to use all Flash Player 10 versions. Do not use Flash Player 9. And it turns out that Flash 10 is really doing well. You can actually start to make some cool games with it. And we're just going to copy and paste that Jiglib soccer field right there in the SRC folder, so paste that. And that's your paper vision. So we have our paper vision org classes and no chump pasted into our project. And now we're going to paste our Jiglib folder. I have that here also in my documents file. Here's right here. Now once again, you want to make sure that you use the Flash Player 10 version. Go all the way down in the SRC folder, and there's the Jiglib folder. Just go ahead and copy and paste that. And we're going to paste that right into, once again, our soccer field game. And now you have all the classes that you need. And once again, make sure everything is Flash 10. And there's Jiglib, and there's no chump. And I've got some errors. Let's see what we need to do. We can see right down here at the bottom, actually, in the ground code, I have the wireframe and the rigid body problem. So let's go ahead and bring the wireframe in first. So I'm come along here, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to bring in a material. So I'll go import org.papervision, right? Just hit return. Materials, right? And I could go in here and actually pull the material that I want, but in this particular example I'll be using a number of materials, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the wild card. Now sometimes that's ill-advised, but in this particular example it won't give us a problem. So I'm going to save that, see if any errors go away. And one of my errors went away, but I still have one more error. Let's fix that. Let's see what the problem is. Type was not found, or was not a compiled type rigid body. So rigid body is missing from my Jiglib import, so let's come along here and import that. And I'll bring a couple other imports as well, so one moment. So actually there's the whole litany of Jiglib imports that I actually need to make Jiglib run well. I'm going to just paste some of those in there. I know this from experience in working with Jiglib, so let me go ahead and paste them in. And here's that rigid body. This is a specific one that we're looking at. So that's in. We'll discuss these others in a later video. So we can see rigid body is in. Let's go ahead and save our code and see if our error goes away. And indeed, all the errors are now gone from the project, so I now have everything I need for the base code. There you go. And now I'm going to try to run the project and see if anything happens. And just like I expected, nothing happens. So let's see if we can fix all this. And I don't like the white background, so I'm going to change the color too as well. So let me take care of that. So one thing I'm going to do actually to get my ground working correctly is I'm actually going to add a small piece of code here. It's like and paste that in. And so when you're working with ActionScript packages as well, this works well. And if you start working with a Flash project, you just got to remove this. It won't work. So I got the width. This is the SWF tag here, and I've got a width here, and I've got a height that I've put in here, and then I've got the background color right here, and that's actually what I want. Let me open this up so you can see it. And I can actually put my frame rate in. And some people put some ridiculous frame rates in here, like 100 frames a second or something like that. And if you optimize your code, it'll run really fast and look really cool. I typically keep this around 30. Some people like 60. It's fine with me. And when I go to a Flash web project, I actually keep the standard 24. So that's set up, and if we run this, nothing will happen, because what we need to do is actually call the ground class so it will be created. So if we go down to the bottom, let's remember what we called that. We called that create ground. So I'm going to just copy that, and I'll paste that. And then I'll run it, and let's see if anything happens. And what you see here is you see a line here, and that line doesn't mean a whole lot to me. So let me put a rotation in the ground so you can actually see it. And I'm going to go to my ground here. I'm going to rotate it just a little bit. So I'll go ground dot rotation. Got a rotation around the x-axis, and we'll rotate by 30 degrees. So remember, once again, when you're working with sines and cosines, you'll be converting between radians and degrees. Degrees are human readable. I know what they are. Radians are not. But that's what the Flash reads as far as the math and cosine and sine values. So you'll need to convert between the two. Let's see if we got anything going on here. So there's a problem here. The problem is this plane only has two sections in it. Only two triangles. If I put my image on that plane, it will look terrible. I'm going to show you how to change the segments here by hacking, and how to get everything working together as one. So one more thing here I want to do here is bring my asset in that I've grabbed from the web. So if you want a soccer field, just go to Google and type in soccer field and hit images search, and you'll find tons of soccer fields. Take those into Photoshop, and you could actually change it to look nice. So you need to learn a little bit of Photoshop. I'm going to create an assets folder here. That's good. And then within that assets folder, I'm going to put an image. Let's create an image folder as well. We'll call this images. There you go. And then we're going to put an image inside of that folder. And I have a soccer field that I've actually grabbed from the web here, so let me just drag it in. Just drag it from my desktop right into the folder. And now I have my soccer field. There it is right there. And that's the setup. And now we're ready to start hacking. And we'll do that next time.